all of the heroes, or should I say, both of the heroes of the closing Pisces Neptune transit, they're falling. They're falling. And there's two heroes that everybody has been misled by. African American females, and that branched out to all women, and white nationalists, and that branched out to all light-skinned motherfuckers in the world. And many in between. Your hero is no longer a hero. The illusion of the fiat status of these two is up. It's gone. It's dissolving. So I ask you the question, what are you going to do now? What you going to do now? You're standing at the schoolyard and your big bad hero that you was patterning your inappropriate behavior behind, your philosophies and your beliefs, they got knocked the fuck out in the schoolyard. Now what? Is it time now to figure out who you are without them? Is it time to figure out who you are without following their cadence, their beliefs, their narratives, their personality traits and expressions? Is it time now to find your own? White supremacy is up. In the White House, they're in a panic frenzy about the fact that their numbers and their birth rate is dwindling down. It's fizzing out like a flat soda. Ain't got no more kick. There's a desperation to hold on to the legacy of that inappropriate power. And that inappropriate power was an illusion too, because it only manifested through Zionism. It only manifested through the Catholic Church, Constantinianism, assumptions of unum sanctum, doctrine of discovery, manifest destiny. And the puppet master of that, the Khazarian. The Khazarian who looks at him as Goyim. The Khazarian who looks at him as scum of the earth. The Khazarian who looks at him as a dirty dish rag. That's the illusion behind his power. It wasn't his slave ships. It was Khazarian slave ships. He was the one doing the dirty footwork on the ground. He never had the status that you thought he had. It was always an illusion. He wasn't the creator that you thought he was. He was an innovator, but not a creator. When he came to earth, everything was already created. Civilization was already flourishing. What, you gonna reinvent the wheel? Arts, humanity, sciences, civilization, architecture. It was thousands and thousands and thousands of years established when he first took a sneeze on this earth. But he's good at taking credit for shit that he ain't did. It's time now to find out who you are outside of white proximity, white association, white favor. Because the only thing that you was able to pull off through these ideals is superficiality. racism, division, suspicion. Your thinking became like his. You females got a lot to figure out because your hero, the African American female, yes, her illusion fell too. She no longer has access to those things that helps her uphold it. The last thing that was helping her to uphold it was her access to the corporate world, her status in the corporate world, her high heels on top of the skyscrapers. She no longer has access to that since Trump came into presidency. So more and more the truth is going to come out. The illusion is going to dissolve. You're going to see what you've been believing all along. Sooner or later it has to register to you that you were not challenging the thoughts that you were holding in secret, the thoughts that you were holding subconsciously. You failed to challenge those thoughts, and it became entwined in your patterns, in your behaviors, in your convictions, in your beliefs, and it became a character. It became a personality, and you became a little minion, a little carbon copy of the African American female in your attitude, in your intentions, in the way that you interact with males, in the way that you enter the dating market, in the way that you dress and express yourself, in the opinions that you hold. You became just like her and can't even see it. This is what the Mercury retrograde holds us to address. Where are those thoughts that you failed to challenge in yourself? Where's this taking you at, ladies? All you got to do is pay attention. Where did she end up going? Where did the African American female end up with feminism? Where did she end up with her extremes in liberalism? Where does she end up in her selfishness and democratic intention? What became of her? What became of her families? What became of her children? What became of her male counterpart in participating in these schisms? These engineered social operations. What became her fate? It's going to become your fate if you're not careful. If you do not confront the thoughts that you subconsciously hold and identify in co-sign and consent, if you are not careful. Can you follow her into a promiscuous lifestyle that's publicly celebrated, that's publicly championed, that's bragged about? Can your reputation handle that? Getting on social media talking about how many dicks you suck and how many niggas you fuck on a regular? Like there's nothing questionable about that? Can your reputation handle that? Can your reputation handle being eternally single? Can your community handle having no men to change the battery in the smoke detector? Can your community handle not having men to balance out the culture that females themselves are constructing and regulating over the children and household with no masculine input whatsoever? Do you know what that reality is like? Do you know what that does to families, communities, and children? Do you know? Do you know what happens to you when you get your wish fulfilled? The wish fulfillment of, oh, we should have a matriarchal society in which women rule everything, women are in control of everything. Nigga, the wish is fulfilled in the black community. Fuck is you talking about? You don't gotta go out of space to some other planet. You don't have to wait until that manifests. American female. That is what it looks like to have women in charge of a community. That is what it looks like to have women have the first and last say-so of a community. That is what it looks like for their ideas and imagination to manifest itself into the outer appearance and expression of a given community. That is what it looks like for women to choose their own destiny over their image and reputation. It only goes as far as the surface. It only goes as far as image. It only goes as far as sexuality. It only goes as far as a college education, which really turned out to not be worth a damn. It's simply a work of art that is hollow. It is a work of art that is hollow. It is a paper mache. It has no true substantive value. Do you ladies realize where you have been getting your marching orders and instructions for your approach to the sexual marketplace? Do you realize who you've been listening to and how you should show up in dating? The selection of particular mates. Who should be qualified or not to live again through your womb? Should you be listening to her? Should you be following her lead and instruction? Should you be following her so closely? Are you sure that that's what you want to do? What will you gain from alienating yourself from your male counterpart? What will you gain from that? And vilifying the men from of your community. Making a conscious decision to see them in a particular negative light. Eternally. Generation after generation. What will it be like to raise children with no masculine input? To turn children into convenient weapons against the father as instruments of control. To enter the courts as warfare. What is the karmic outcome of that? What then becomes the covenant bond to anticipate? What becomes of women to live their whole entire life dating, serial dating, restaurant after restaurant after restaurant? Oh, I like to travel, traveling, getting peed on and sucking dick. What is the life of that? Running from drug dealer, rich man, basketball player, celebrity. And then in your 40s and 50s, you're desperate for the good guy who you ignored your whole entire youth. All of your glory years. Now you want the good guy to do the cleanup work. Now you want the good guy to come and be the convenient father of bastard children. Now you want the good guy to step in. Now you want a good guy to come and take all the burden and collateral damage. Now you want the good guy to heal your broke up ass. Now you want the good guy to come and fix it. Now you want the good guy to come and help you to live apologetically. To feel sorry for your ass. Are you sure you want to start a legacy like that in your community? This is a collective issue. It's a collective issue that your punk ass is too scared to admit is the case. It's a collective issue that your punk ass is too appropriate, too proper, too high up on a high horse, a moral high horse with a 30-foot ladder. Where for somebody to speak and say and acknowledge these things that you yourself know, it's a crime, abomination, and heresy. I should be arrested for it. Silence him. These are real questions to ask and anticipate, and they're real strategies to come to grip with for your entire family, especially for your children and what they are consuming. What are your children consuming? Are your daughters consuming the influence of African American females? I'm an African American male. I was raised by a black woman. I have African American sisters, aunties, and the whole nine that I love. But truth is truth. Truth ain't nobody's friend. Ain't my friend, ain't your friend. I know some of y'all don't like me saying this. I know a lot of y'all want to disagree. You want to clutch pearls. You want to say I'm talking shit. You want to say who hurt you. You want to insult me back into control. Go ahead and give it a try. Give it a shot. Come on. Let me hear it. You big and bad. Don't hold back. See if it's going to work. It ain't going to work, bitch. Because it's the motherfucking truth. And the truth is tearing your ass up. It's tearing your ass up. Gavin Newsom, mayor of, or is he the governor? Mayor of California. He gets up there, says something insulting and racist. Who gives a fuck? Oh, he says to this black guy who was interviewing him, yeah, I'm just like you. I scored low on SAT. Only got a 930 or a 940. Right? Who gives a shit? The point that I would like to take from it is there truth to anything that he's saying? Is there something away in what he's saying? Why are people so comfortable with associating the black community with ignorance? With vile character and assumptions? Why are people so comfortable associating us with this? Does it have anything to do with the public image that we decide to portray of ourselves? Does it have anything to do with how we choose to show up collectively in representation or misrepresentation of ourselves? Does it have anything to do with that? Does it have anything to do with what we collectively choose to glorify and lift up and promote? Just recently, Glorilla, y'all know the rapper Glorilla, her sister, her bull dagger sister, she rose to fame instantly. And all she had to do was get on the camera and be an ignorant ass menace. That's all she had to do, was be ignorant. That's all it takes in the black community to rise to fame, is you be ignorant. You come out ignorant, you're going to get a check. You're going to get money. You're going to get followers. You're going to get likes. You're going to get fame. They're going to raise you up. Laughing emojis. Laughing emojis. Black America laughs themselves into doom and destruction. They giggle themselves into a compromising position with their back against the wall, and then want to cry and complain at what they themselves have created of themselves and their own image and reputation. How can we complain with these assumptions when we consciously continue to choose over and over again to construct such reputations and identities of ourselves collectively? We have no resistance, no accountability. Can't nobody call nothing out. Cancel culture works very well in our community. And it only works against the good, not against the bad. It works against the light and not against the darkness. It works against wisdom, but not and truth, and not against shamelessness. We can't get mad at the truth. We can't get mad at the motherfucking truth. It's a lot of things that you think but you scared to say. It's a lot of things that you know, but you're scared to confess. You idolize African American females, and they have idolized for themselves prostitution as the standardized symbol of their collective character image and expression of themselves and approach to the sexual marketplace. It is transactional. It is full of entitlement and assumptions. Their nervous system is overworked and shocked. And what I mean by nervous system and sensory perception is overworked and shocked. There is too much stimulation coming from the Black American females and their sisterhood. All this serial dating, going out, dating here, experiencing this, experiencing that, to the point where can't nothing and nobody make them happy. Because your sensory perception has been so overloaded and so damn stimulated. It's like a woman that got a vibrator and she just hit that vibrator 24 goddamn 7 and can't feel shit when she get fucked. Can't feel a goddamn thing. Because you don't wore the hell out that motherfucker with a goddamn vibrator. That's her approach to the sexual marketplace. This is why she is eternally dissatisfied when it comes to dating. When it comes to getting to know somebody, when it comes to entering the pursuit of love, romance, and intimacy. She can't feel nothing. She's desensitized. You pile all this flavor and salt and sugar on your damn rice and vegetables and meat or whatever it is that you're going to eat. You can't even taste the damn rice. You done piled it up with all kind of seasonings. Can't taste a motherfucking thing. Your senses are overworked and shot. Where hasn't the African American woman been in experience? What restaurant has she not sat at with a club dress on, with all her titties and ass pouring and spilling out, with a camera on herself, smooching at the damn camera? Where has she not been and twerked and smeared her pussy all over the walls and tables? Where has she not been and acted damn fool and had no shame about it? Where has she not been? With a passport in hand all over the goddamn world. And then come to her male counterpart. Oh, you're not good enough. I'm dissatisfied. That's not gonna make me happy. You're following her into doom. You're following her into destruction. And it's the same with the white Christian nationalist. You think that if you imitate his personality, his talking points, his thought process, his prejudices, his strategy to divide and conquer, his ability to put one against the other, his classifications of others as under him while he is over them, the depiction and description of his greatness and superiority to the eternal inferiority of all other subjects of the earth, according to his false and fictitious narratives, assumptions, and ignorance. And you take on the same damn traits with yourself. I know black, I Dominican, and so on and so forth. You hate yourself so goddamn much based on the philosophy that you absorbed from him, the thought process that you got from him, the attitude that you got from him, the legacy of self-hatred that you were taught from him. The beauty market bears witness to it. All the wigs you buying, lashes you buying, surgeries you getting on your damn nose to straighten your nose out. All kind of additives and artificial shit that you walking around with, Mr. Potato Head. You can't be your damn self because you hate your fucking self. But somebody else supposed to love you while you don't love you. Somebody else supposed to accept you, but you don't accept you. You don't like you. Everybody got to qualify to be on your level, quote unquote. But you don't even know what level you on. You're lost, bitch. You're fucking lost. You don't know where you go. You don't know who you are. People keep believing and falling for it, but the illusion is up, and sooner or later people are going to catch on that it's a front, it's gas, it's just talk. She ain't no damn threat. Who's the real threat? That African American male. He's the real threat. Because he's the one who everybody has to talk shit about. He's the one who everybody has to keep down. He's the one who nobody can let up. He's the one who everybody is watching and monitoring. He's the one who everybody has to keep the same narrative about, especially the African American female and the white Christian nationalists. They work equally as hard, and they work equally diligent and restless to keep him in the position that he's in, to keep him down and out, to keep him in doubt of himself, to keep him in disbelief of himself, to keep him disenfranchised and disempowered. They are partners in that pursuit. But the children love him. The children all over the world love the African American male. The children all over the world walk in his footsteps. The children all over the world pattern the ways and behaviors and speech and the whole demeanor after him. The children all over the world see no fault in him. The children all over the world romanticize him, champion him, lift him up. The children of the world don't fear black men. They don't hate black men. They don't talk shit about black men. Who's the one with the pure heart? The children, motherfucker. So who the fuck you think know the damn truth? Okay, then I'll rest my motherfucking case. Because of looks and extravagant, arrogant expression, the African American female stands as the local celebrity to all women of the world. They watch her in secret, trying to plan their escape, trying to figure out how they're going to come out the closet, how they just going to go wild, how they're going to plunge themselves into doom and destruction justified by education and career paths. They lust for her position, but they're not able to see up close where it will get them. And the power legacy, the illusion of power legacy of white Christian nationalism that came from the puppeteering of Khazarians. To the people's ignorance, it's not accessible without Khazarians. And every person who goes that pathway in lust of white men and what they have and what narrative they have constructed in that illusion, you run right back into the same puppet master that gave them that illusion, the Khazarian. And you have to pay dues to that Khazarian. You have to join the religion of that Khazarian. And you end up like Diddy. You end up like Jay-Z. And this not only happens in high places, this happens locally as well. These two celebrities, the black American woman and the white Christian nationalist, are one in the same spirit, a fiat dollar. A fiat dollar whose illusion is up. And it's time that everybody sets themselves free from this illusion and find out who the fuck they are. Because these two, accountability comes. Karma comes for these two. Because their respite is up. His respite was up with Pluto Capricorn transit, and her respite was up with South Node Libra transit. Thank you very much.